Here we go. We're up. All right. While my world is loading, I just want to say that I've been working a bit last night and previous in the week on doing some new things with villages, that would be like iron farms for caves and cliffs. I don't feel like I have time to put together like a video on it, so I'm doing like this quick stream and kind of discuss some of the things and some of that I'm doing and how I'm building. So hopefully this will be enlightening. Hopefully my world will load and I can get in and I can kind of walk y'all through how to build maybe some iron farms for 1.18 upcoming, which is out in like 9 days. So hopefully my world will load. My client takes it up. There we go. So how's everyone doing? So this is the farm I'm going to talk about. It still needs to be like tested for a long time, but I am kind of enjoying the look of it and how it functions. And I'll go like, I'll run off in the direction and I'll just kind of work through thought process of all this. Hey, golems and cats. And so, let me go do that. Let me run off 80 blocks in some direction. Let's go this way. Let's see where I am now. I'm gonna be negative. I'm gonna go positive. I'm gonna go like positive 96 or so. Create a new village. Here we go. This will work. 112. I'm gonna create a new village here and show you kind of the problem with villages. Oh, hey, old guy. Thanks for like chatting with me last night and coming through. So I'm gonna build up a chunk here. And work through like why I'm doing what I'm doing, and then some other things that you should be doing in caves and cliffs. And I should probably just fill this all in, but this is the thing. I'm gonna fill -1. Oops. 15, -1, 15 grass. And did I do it? Yes. All right. I'll start this with grass. I'm gonna put a fence around it. And since old guy has joined us, I will use his favorite birch fence, because otherwise he'll tell me that my village is built wrong if I don't do this. So we have our chunk. We're going to surround it by a fence to keep the villagers in. Probably should do 2 high to protect the villagers from patrols. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Let me get a pumpkin out. Carved pumpkin, that'll work. Yeah, okay. So this is our northwest corner of our chunk, so that is north. So that farm is in our north direction. Alright, so now we're gonna do yeah, I know, but I'm thinking old guy says patrols don't spawn in flat worlds. Yeah, I mean this is on peaceful anyways. But if someone wanted to copy this in the real world on the ground, they may want to do this. So now we're gonna place my beds. I'm gonna go 1, so it's gonna give us 2 from the edge. So we're gonna go 1, 2, then here. Now we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6. Let me check. Make sure this is even. 1, 2, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, so that's even. Now we're gonna go over to 10. We're gonna get 20 beds total. And then we're gonna go do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, I'm doing this wrong. Sorry, old guy. village won't work unless it's cyan beds. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 1. Alright, so we have our beds laid out. I'm doing the this layout from Old Guy's Mjolnir farm to keep track of kind of limit the spawning locations. So that's why I'm gonna do it like this. I'm not gonna stack them, and I'll explain that later. So now I'm gonna put in some POI. So like you'd want to, let's say here, way across. And this is just maybe like how you'd want to do your farm, right? And then put in 12 or 20 villagers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 8, 9. I will I'll take them. I'm not even counting anymore. I'll just shift it to night in a second, and we'll see how many we got. When they stop doing particles. Alright, I think I have a little extra. Oh. And you. So then, time, set, night. Let's see if all the beds are occupied and everyone has a bed. Alright, so this is the problem we have here. This guy here is trying to pathfind over the bed. Okay? And what I learned last night is that he's actually not trying to walk on the bed. He's actually trying to walk on the block below the bed. And that's what messes up his pathfinding. And that's why in these free-range villages like this, they have a hard time getting back to their beds. And so there's a solution to that, and that's messing with their pathfinding. So I'm going to start the first round of changes. I'm going to get them all. I'm going to assign them to POIs that's right next to their bed. Not necessary for what I'm trying to do, but it does look cooler. So, first one down. Where are you? You are on the edge. You're over here. It's you. Good. Next one. I'm gonna make them all Fletchers. And because they don't have POI here, then I can it's much easier to mess with the blocks. I don't have to shift. Place one on top. Okay. What we got? I think you're over here. Nope, you're on the other side. Now you're up here. I'm putting them in. So villagers have an order. They have like an internal order. That it's probably best to think about that it kind of randomizes every time you load the game or something happens to the village. A new villager is added. No more technical than that, but probably the best thing. But right now, since these villagers are stable, they kind of have a stable order. And the order kind of determines who gets to claim a workstation when it's put down. So I just want to do it where their workstation and their bed is in a line. Probably be a mistake later, because I'm going to have to probably break these beds in the future. Okay, so that one's it. And now then, right him. Okay. Oh, there's a cat running around. That's not helpful. I'm gonna trade with these guys. So what do they want? Sticks and I'm gonna give myself a stick. Give me 500 sticks. I'm gonna trade with all these guys to lock them into their profession. I don't need you anymore. Great trade with you. This dude. It's not necessary to line them up. The village that I'm working on will be kind of set up where they can pathfind efficiently. Like, they look like they're smart. But kind of fun them all if they're all lined up and kind of feel a bit safer. Until the village randomly reassigns things, but that's okay because just like Mjolnir Iron Farm design, it doesn't matter where which bed is the center of the village. Eventually, it won't matter. Okay, that's them everyone traded with. I'm gonna show you kind of what they do if I set it today and then set it tonight. All right, so they all woke up and they went to their workstations, and now they're working. And probably soon we'll see some iron golems spawning because they're all working. And so, just to get him out of the way. So now they've worked a bit, and they're gonna wander around, walk across beds. There's another iron golem. I'm trying to get them spawned out of the base. I'll build the right spawning platform in a bit. But yeah, so this is them wandering. But what happens at night? See if we can get some misbehaving villagers at night. And then, so like this villager right here, he's trying to pathfind to his bed, but he can't because he's trying to walk through this bed that has a villager in it, and he can't tell that he can walk around. But we can stop him from actually walking across this bed, and that's by putting magma blocks underneath the beds. And so that's our first step. So I'm gonna have to do this in the day and kind of smartly. And we'll also put some wool down while we're at it. So get magma. And then let's pick a color wool. I've been using yellow wool, but I don't necessarily know if that's the wool. If that's the wool I want to use. Yellow, orange, green, pink. I will use. I'll put cyan wool under the cyan beds. We'll start with that. So I'm gonna knock this bed out. I'm gonna put 2 wool underneath it, put it back. So it should be happy. This one I'm gonna knock out, and I'm gonna put wool magma block. Okay. And so now villagers will not try to pathfind across this to get to their bed because that magma block is there. Additionally, the wool isn't one of their preferred blocks, and so it has actually a pathfinding cost of 3, which is higher than some other blocks that we're about to use. So, the reason why I don't do 2 magma is that if a villager gets pushed onto a magma block and it is also surrounded by magma blocks, he won't be able to leave. He won't burn because he's on the bed, but he won't pathfind off because he's surrounded by magma blocks. He doesn't want to walk on any of them. He's kind of like stuck. So that's why I'm using this strategy by having like a core of magma. Now, so far I've left the ends open next to the off the beds, but that is definitely something you can put magma on right at the end, like keep this pattern instead of using 2 wool on the ends. If you build this farm, you want to put these down before the beds, and we did all the jiggering, but I wanted to show you kind of the difference in pathfinding if you block them or not. Oops, we'll do 2. Alright, so if I have that set down, let's go to night. Come on. There you go. So that's the first part. Get these dudes out of the way. It's the first part of the path. Now, while they're all sleeping, I'm going to do the second part. And that involves a little more wool. And then, what color? Red? So I'll use red. I'm going to surround all the workstations with red wool. The red wool has a pathfinding cost of 3, as I said before. And so this kind of means that they're gonna, that a villager is gonna like walk here. He's not gonna like want to walk next to the workstations. So it's gonna make it where like villagers are less likely to push one another. So this kind of protects it. At the same time, I'm gonna put 2 little blocks right in the middle to try to get them from not walking next to the beds unless they're trying to go to the beds. Alright, so it's like here. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's the even. So that's kind of the setup. The last thing to do is to put grass paths, because they really prefer to work on grass paths. And so like this works by basically using the grass paths to encourage them to walk sort of around the POI. Oops. Well, I guess it's okay. You go, and you go. And then so... So that's the logic. And so you kind of keep them walking on the grass paths and then encourage them to walk to their POI, but not kind of bumping into one another as they're strolling. And then, so that's that. Then, let me go. See if I can move these golems out while everyone's asleep. Come on, you want to walk out? You want to walk out? There we go. I'll kill you later. Come on. Or here, zombie. What I call golem bait. That's a zombie horse. I didn't need it after all. Alright, so now we got 2 golems wandering around. Cats are annoying, but they just have to stay. Alright, so let's set it to day. And so now, you know, they've gotten out of bed. Now they're working. Cats kind of push some of them off. And now they're going to wander around a bit. And they'll kind of get back to their spot. One thing to notice, and one thing I want you to notice in doing this, is like how they don't tend to push one another off their spots, because they kind of give each other room when they're working. They also, so the pathfinding of grass blocks is like 1, maybe 0, I can't remember. The path blocks. Wool is 3, and the Fletcher's tables I think is 50, maybe 20. I can't remember the number. That's really high, so they really don't want to walk across them. They'll walk on it when it's time to work, but otherwise, and they kind of like aren't pushing each other off their spots. It's like one of the problems you may have in some designs that I can see is that like so path blocks is 0, I think you all got. If someone was working like here and the villager was here and wanted to get here, he'll just like walk straight in front of all the POI. And so this setup, he'll come out and walk along the grass path. And yeah. And so now if I do time set night, you didn't get anyone stuck. Time set day. They all go, they jump out of their beds and they work. So I guess I should probably add some light in here before I forget. Torch. I mean, it's all peaceful, but if you're making this farm, if you're trying to copy me in survival, you want to get some lighting in. So probably 2 there. Should be enough light. Keep it going. Next thing we need to think about is the spawning platform. Because if we cycle this a couple more times, they kind of all behave smartly. Like, I've never seen villagers act this smart. No one seems to be getting stuck in a bed. If they delink, they quickly relink, and it doesn't seem to be a problem with getting them to work. I see two that are not linked to the right POI, but that's fine. And now they wander a bit. Do nighttime. Sometimes one or two of them will get to their bed a little bit later, but usually it takes them 10 seconds, like a straggler. See how he's walking around following the path? So he found his bed. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is make a spawning platform. And the way to do that for the new spawning mechanism, in my opinion, is to build a spawning platform 5 blocks above the beds. All the beds are on the same level, and I'll explain why I'm doing this. Let's go up. We'll do, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this level, right, there should be 5 from the platform the beds are on. There should be 5 blocks. 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the space that you want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what we're looking at. Then on top of that, you need to have a platform. So first platform we'll have is our 16 by 16 on the chunk. So I'll fill that in. -1, 15, smooth stone. This is our 16 by 16. Now we're going to extend it to a 17 by 26 platform. All right. And that's to ensure that no matter which bed is the center of the village, you have enough space to spawn all the golems. Like I said, this really isn't necessary. This doesn't really get you a bunch of additional iron. But like if you're building on the ground, building a full platform keeps the golems up here instead of wandering around outside your farm. And so this is our northwest bed here. This is the northwest corner of the pillow of the bed. And golems can spawn 8 blocks from here in both directions. So let's count them out. Right? Actually, let me do this. It's easier up here. Make our pretend bed. Make sure. Yeah, so 3 in. Those are all the possible beds. You go 1, 2. Then I believe it's here. So these are the edges of our bed. So now we need to be able to go 8 from here, because this is a spawn point right here. It's going to be 8 blocks in this direction, 8 blocks. So we'll do 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need 1 on this end. There's that golem can spawn here. And we're going to go 5 in this direction, because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is edge of our spawning platform. Okay, so it can spawn on any of these blocks. Now we actually have to add an extra edge here, because the golem's going to spawn in this square here or here, but we're going to have a drop chute here. We're not going to have glass. So now we actually are going 9 on the north side of this farm. So similarly, if this bed here is the center of the village, this is the location here, and it can spawn 8 in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're good here, and the golem's gonna check these areas. That's the right width. And if you need me to, I can use structure blocks to show the 4 possible regions. Which you need to keep clear. So this is basically the same design that I built on stream, that I built in my one block world, and I built on my class SMP of the spawning platform. So down here, we've already gotten this taken care of. So here, it's also 8 in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I've done this right, I should have 26. 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, right? This is the north side. This is the west side. Alright. And so now, I'm going to get some glass. I'm going to fill it in before I do water streams. 2, 3 up. In this case, I'm going to go out 1. Maybe I'll do 4. Go up to 4. 4 levels. Last level I'll build. This layout, regardless of which bed is the center, is going to capture all the golems, and we'll be able to do a water stream that collects everyone. So, look at those there. I'm pretty sure wool is spawnable. Actually, I can test if wool is spawnable, at least for in this version. Drift leaf. Big drift leaf. Good. In this version, I think it's been fixed in one of the betas. Any block you can place a big drip leaf on is a block that can spawn golems. And the reason why I've built this platform, the height above the village that I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is because I want to use lava blades. And if you build it lower, the lava blades are going to interfere with the ability of golems to spawn. And so by building it the right height, you can have lava blades. You can use doors here that won't block any spawning. Because if you put doors lower, it's going to block spawns because if the search algorithm encounters a non-solid block like fence gates in the spawning region, it's going to cancel the spawning of the golem, which is fine. It really doesn't affect your rates at all. But let's say you wanted to use lava spam everywhere, then you'd lose a lot of spawning you basically wouldn't spawn anything because it'd be in the region. So basically, by building the spawn platform at the highest possible spawning location above the beds, you can put basically whatever you want on top of it within reason, and it's not going to affect spawns the way they would do lower. All right, and then we're going to do it on this side. And I'm using, whoops, I always do this. I always put it in the wrong location. I'm using warped fence gates because they don't burn from lava. You can also use signs if you don't want to go to the nether. Sound's off, or music's off. Let me get you some more. What do we got? Let's do... I'm gonna get the album my kid likes. He likes this one. Match the angle. Oops. One of the advantages of the new spawning mechanics in Caves and Cliffs for golems is that I only have to do this for one platform instead of two. Get this going. Let me get back my chat so I can see chat. Can we put our lava in? So we're gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna let that spread. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lava. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lava. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lava. 3. 1, 2, 3. Lava. Alright. And then the water blades. Then this needs to be right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so it should. And then we're going to go right down the middle. Here you go. And we got our dudes down here working. Yeah, I probably should kill the cats. At least get them out of this farm. Alright, kitty. Tell me we got a northwest bias going on in here. See any more cats. There's some on the ground, which is fine. That's how that's a free range iron farm with lava blades. And no, I'm not going to use a trident killer. Alright, so they've been working for a while. Let's see what they look like when they go to sleep. Behave. And then collection system. I don't know if I've really shown this. I feel like showing. I don't know. Should I show the collection system? Should I do something else? One thing I do in my collection system is that, like, if you want to farm string, I use a soul campfire on top of a hopper, and I push everything into that soul campfire, and that gets string. Probably want to put a lightning rod somewhere nearby as well. Why a soul campfire? Not because of the damage. Damage is unimportant. It won't melt the ice. So I guess I'll show it. I got a bit more time on stream. I need to lower the glass a bit. Do it on one side first. question is, why did I chunk align this? Yes, I did. Mostly because I want to make sure that if the villagers are loaded, they're kind of all loaded at the same time. Instead of like some of them being in a chunk and not being loaded, and other ones being loaded. And so they like won't cross chunks and go into like a different chunk from their bed or something. The rest of the villagers. I just have an intuition. It's more stable that way. Then we will do it on this end. Oops. Where am I going? Here. I need a stair. And then I got a water bucket already, and then I need some ice. I will do packed ice in this case. That there. Ice below it. Fill that up. Okay. And then do something similar, but this time I'm not going to use a stair. I'm going to put the ice. I'm going to do here. Ice. And then okay, first part. I'll take this and replace it with that. Alright. And then I'm gonna come here, I'm gonna fill in this. And fill in this. And then an ice there. Break that one. And oops, looks like I need to break one more. Ice. Break that one. Get it going this way. Here. And that should be them meeting in the middle. At which point I go grab a button. Then I'd match this on the other side. If I'm building up in the air, I'd match this on the side and probably drop them down and then send them into the middle of the farm where they would merge from that side and the side. But on this time, I'll just show you if you were building on the ground and you had two separate ones, what to do. You had separate storage. Then I'm gonna do a coral fan to make sure the cats don't try to resist the water flow at that point because they think it's a solid block. And then I need a hopper. I need a chest. And then I need a soul campfire. And then that means we'll do here, 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 here. And there we go. See if we can see any. I guess the cats have all spawned and run away. Probably. go. Here. Kill that time. There's a cat. Alright, so no cat's maxed. They may be on a cat TS timer right now. They've run off. That's basically how I do my water streams. We saw it just drop in. If I look. There we go. I guess I will replicate this on this side while we wait for some cats to spawn. See you later, old guy. Thanks for hanging out. Yep, there's a cat. There you go. And we got some string. Now, the great thing about that setup is if you don't want to farm string, you don't put that there. You don't put the hopper, the campfire there. And they'll just fall down and they'll hang out. Which one do I need? I don't actually know. Oh, something was off. Too low. Not low. Not too high, is what I'm trying to say. If you don't want a button, you can kind of start the lower level a bit earlier. I guess I'll show you on this end once I get it done. Here's the middle, this is the middle. There. So if I go 3, I think. And over the side. More. There, I have to block it. Good. Okay. Oh. And then, so I gotta go one more in, and we're good. So that's how you'd set it up if you didn't want to use a button in the middle. but you'll get the idea. Probably gonna have to run soon. But this kind of covered what I wanted to talk about today. Let's watch the villagers be smart again. A little bit more time, I can finish this off. Go one higher. It's what? 4? It's 4, then it dropped down. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But the water level is different. There we go. Got our cats, and so if we wanted to continue our... There'll be fire here, that means this is our setup. Now there's no button, so now it's gonna smoke particles are gonna go up. That's annoying. Put the button back in. So I don't have those smoke. So I don't have those smoke particles. There we go. No more smoke particles. There we go. And there is the farm. Complete. Storage on both sides. Any questions? Any comments? Any thoughts? Any suggestions? Please let me know in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this video later. There goes Cat. Like, you know, this is a design, so if you want to have like free range villagers, don't want to use pods, this is a design that so far feels pretty stable. And allows you to use like all the same POI. Unlike a pod method that kind of allows you to use like, you need like, you know, for 20 villagers you would need 2 different types of POI. I usually use 3. I use at most 8 per pod. But at least this allows you to have them anywhere, and they seem to pathfind pretty easily. These 2 dudes. Go these 2. I'm gonna put them at nighttime. I'm gonna fix this because I feel like it. Okay, so is it? Alright, so which one of you is gonna link first? There we go. So. There we go. That looks nice. It really, kind of doesn't matter. Even if, beds and POI were random, because I've done this where I didn't try to sync them up. And they seem to still are able to work and are able to go to sleep. And so regardless of which bed is the center, all the golems are going to spawn up here. That's what this platform allows us to do. And with this layout, the average golem lifetime is, I believe, 285 ticks. If you're trying to use the equations from some of my other videos, right? But could you have your own bed or POI without? So, question: let's say you're combining a trading hall and an iron farm. Each villager would link to a workstation and bed. Could you have your own bed or POI without interfering with the farm? Bed is probably no. You'd have to put your bed far enough below the farm so no villagers will detect it. I believe it's 6 blocks, their search range, so you need to do it like on a lower level than a villager. Because the villagers has like a certain X and Y value it looks for beds and POI. So if you're out of that range, you're pretty good. Here, like I can put additional POIs down as long as they're like not this, and it would be fine. It'll mess up their pathfinding since they don't like to walk on it. So you got to be careful on that. But personally, I don't like to combine trading iron farms and trading halls. I like to have them separate because that's 2 different types of village tech, and they would need 2 different types of style. Because I like to build them separate. One thing about this farm design is you can go up 80 blocks from here and build an exact duplicate and AFK in the middle. You don't even have to build the water stream because that's what I've done differently with my other farm. If you shifted this over here where you had the lava over the water, and then you had like gate, lava gate, you can then have a farm up above and it drops items down directly into this water level. You can't do that right now because the lava would destroy items. But if you shift the lava blade over one, which doesn't impact performance, this means you got more work to do. You can drop items down from above. That's what I've done on another farm. See how we're doing for production. Not bad. I just love watching them Pathfind. I'm gonna do it one more time and then I'll probably end the stream. Then run around. And then nighttime. Night night. Alright. On that, I'm going to end the stream. Thanks everyone for coming out. If you're watching this later, hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial from something I started working on last night. And so thank you for coming out. If you have any questions, ask in the comments below, join my Discord, like and subscribe. Ding that like button. You got it. You understand what to do. Cheers.